take my toothpicks because I want to layer this. I want this to be into like 3 layers. So, oh wait, first, this was baked with parchment paper, so we gotta take this out first. And if you want recipes, tried and tested recipes, you can check out our ebook. We currently don't have the printed book, but we will soon. Now, do I do 2 layers? Yeah, let me do 3 layers. Like this. So what I want to do is cut them and put them back exactly how they should be. Now I want to notice guys, that this is the top, the wrinkly part. I want to decorate this like this, okay? So because I've done this, I'm going to cut here like this so that I can have layers. I'm going to flip because I'm not left-handed, I'm actually right-handed. But I think if I do this, you guys can sort of see. So I can have 3 separate layers. I'm going to use this board. I cut really close, but it's still good, I think. Alright, so I got my 3 layers, right this. You want to do a better job than I did. Now I want to place this here so I can show you guys this here. So you need a turntable, but it's not a must. Then, because I like using, just in case it gets like some crumbs, I like using my whipped cream while it's right there. So I'm going to place some whipped cream right here and start my first layer so that it can stick. And again, you want to try and line it up. So I'm going to remove this, right? So that's the first one. So my next step on this is, because I want to moisten this, you want to moisten your sponge cakes, right? Because they tend to be a little dry. This is a biscuit. You need a pastry brush and some syrup. And this is what you're gonna do. Again, I always use another container because I know I might get crumbs. And if you get something like crumbs on your syrup, it'll spoil faster. So that's why you keep seeing me putting stuff in a separate container now. Because I want to moisten both sides, you can flip. Gets a little messy. We're not gonna flip this because I already put some whipped cream in there. However, pretty sure you guys can see this, right? Yep, good. Now I'm gonna do a simple Black Forest cake, but of course, the more complex one has liquor, like an alcoholic drink. This is the non-alcoholic version of the Black Forest that we are doing here. So I'm moistening both sides so that both sides are actually wet. Now, because I want them to go back exactly how I did them, I'm gonna flip this back, right? So we don't lose that. Got it? Okay, so. So now after this, the one thing I forgot is a piping bag, which I should get in a minute. Okay. And then you need a coupler. Alright, now because I'm going to pipe a dam, guys, this is why I was looking for these things. So you're going to coupler in your piping bag and your nozzle. Close this up. You can use any, I'm going to be using a Star 21. And then I'm going to spoon some into this, some whipped cream. Like so. I just want a little bit. So, all right. I'm gonna place this aside, bring this back here, and I'm gonna pipe my dam. Always leave some space between the dam and the edge, right? Now, because my syrup was quite an amount, right? I'm just gonna put some cherries right? And red cherries are literally what you want to use for a black forest. You can use strawberries, that's like a nice substitute, but really a black forest cake should have cherries. Now there's many ways of doing this, but the filling should be whipped cream and cherries. You can alternate the layers, or for me, what I'm gonna do is pipe both. So I'm gonna pipe both. I'm gonna put both like whipped cream and cherries like that. Then I'm gonna find my middle, press it in a bit. If you're doing this for a customer, obviously you want to make sure you have food gloves, or at least wash your hands. Line it up, make sure it's lined up. Press a bit, this is wet. This is what I'm, okay? Then I'm gonna pipe another dam. Now when you press it in, your dam gets to the edge. This is why you see that I'm saying, don't put the dam all the way at the edge. Because once you place the layer, it's gonna actually spread. Now I'm chopping this into like quarters and putting them in here. Again, these are great, but better ones are the ones that are in syrup. Not the glacé ones like these ones, but these are good too. Nothing wrong with them. Again, I'm gonna pipe my whipped cream, and even if it runs out, as you can see mine just did, you can even do this. It's gonna spread a little bit, right? Then put my final layer, line it up, right? Line it up, and then press. This is still wet, which is why I am doing this. Okay, now this is kind of tall, so if you were decorating this and transporting it, I'm removing my toothpicks. I would actually put a dowel in it because it's a sponge cake, right? But I am gonna be transporting this to my family, therefore I am not too worried about what do you call it, moving or anything like that. If you have any questions so far, feel free to post. I will be checking in a minute. I want to add some whipped cream, right, to kind of show you guys a very easy way of adding frosting to this, right? I just want to show you guys all around, right? There you go. If you want to frost this really easily, just use your piping bag like this. Of course you need more than I have right now, which I will add. You just come back to add where you keep scraping, as you've noticed, keep scraping there. There we go. Real quick application. You will see, since I'm adding shavings, I'm not too worried about perfection. So that's a great thing about a forest cake. But as you can see, because of layering, I get a whole bunch of height, which is great. So make sure you're using like a block. Something like this works out very well. And then you just kind of use a knife and press down and keep going for a bit. You see, you get the curls. So you do have to use a little bit of strength to get the curls, but they're much better than using a grater, I tend to find. See? So this does take time. Like I'll take 10 minutes to sit down and do for a small cake. Obviously, the larger the cake, like if we're doing for our chiffon cakes, we do them way ahead of time. Because wow, it takes time. But as you can see, I get the curls really nicely, right? So I hope this tip has helped you. You can comment and share. How do you do your chocolate shavings? You know what I'm saying? Share some tips. So I'm just gonna do a few, right? Here they are, in a bowl, like this. And if I'm not doing the work right now, I'll just place it in the freezer. So I have so many, see? And I place it in a fridge or freezer. You can just do a fridge. Or a cool dry place. It doesn't have to be a refrigerator. The reason I do that is because I don't want it to melt or anything. So, if you think you're gonna be messy, please make sure you have parchment paper around you, just so it can, you know, help you out.